Hey guys. Don't you worry. If you're thinking of leaving, don't you worry. This will be fun. This will be fun because I have a rant that I think normal people will actually agree with me with. So just listen. So I have watched this entitled brat named James Charles with his little rant. And even though you deleted it, James, if you're watching this, you're probably not watching this because I'm a small fry, right? Just a small content creator, right? Right? I'm a peasant that you will never have to worry about, right? But here's the problem, okay? And if anybody's watching this, I have to say that people have lost the sense of humility nowadays, and it's starting to piss me off. It really is. I guess anybody that watches for my WWE ranting, you could call this sort of a promo if you're into negativity still. But whatever happened to humility and actually having a spine, I feel like that there's a lot of content creators that lack that nowadays. Okay, because they either pander to people and then people realize that it's a facade and they're like, well, we would have liked it if you were actually truthful, but since you were pandering and you're actually fake as hell, we don't like it. Or there's people like James Charles or Onision, which I'll get to him in another video. Those are two people that I really don't like on this platform. If anybody I don't like, I'm usually not biased towards anybody. I usually don't give a rat's ass about anybody. I usually try to stay in my own bubble. I do. And if I ever try to collab with somebody, I'll do it. And if people have a problem with it, they're like, they're controversial. Yeah, a lot of people are controversial on YouTube and on Twitch, but guess what? Like I'm making content somehow, and usually the people that you enjoy are probably more controversial than the people that I like. So take that as you will. But I have to say to my fans, thank you for helping me through everything. And even though I only have 51 subscribers, I really do appreciate it. And I think some people need to understand to appreciate your fans before it's too late. Because here's the thing, James Charles, you are privileged, okay? And I'm not talking about how much money you have now. I am talking about not having to work a day in your life and having content creation as your job. Okay? I do both. I do both work and content creation because that's what I have to afford. Okay? And right now I'm not making money off of content. So this rant right here, it's for free. I'm not getting paid to do this. This is actually something that's really pissing me off. You see, I am a person that used to live in the hood. Okay, it might not look like, I might look like a tighty-whitey, right? But I used to live in the hood, okay? Not every single day. There were some times in life where I had to go live with my aunt for a little bit, and I was in a more privileged area. But through my younger childhood, when I was living with my mom and dad, I would live around the Detroit area and then Dearborn. And then when I got older, 18 years old, when my aunt kicked me out of the house before I was ready, which, people can give or take. People can say, well, you were old enough. So that's fair. I'm not complaining about that. Like, what's done is done, okay? I'm doing pretty fine. I would live in Lansing. And what people in the hood understand is humility, is mutual respect. Now, if people are watching this by now and wondering, why are you so angry? It's because there's people like James Charles or certain content creators in general that don't understand humility, that don't understand that they are in a privileged position in life. There are some content creators that do jobs, but also do content creation on the side. And then when they get lucky enough, once they blow up, they do become mainstream content creators. And a lot of them did not take it for granted. But there are certain people that are either Nepo babies that didn't have to work a day in their life, or there's just people out there that have fans and that are ungrateful. And so, what did James Charles do? What did James Charles do? I'm not sure if you've seen it, but if you have the same content that I have on my For You page, or if you looked at anything viral, you will realize that he's going around the internet for a little bit. And that is because he was... Now I'm ranting about a rant. Isn't that ironic? I'm ranting about a rant. Because he was ranting about somebody getting into his DMs. Now, I know it's annoying when people you don't know get into your DMs, you know. That's why I try not to do that to celebrities I like, unless if I'm trying to offer them something, you know, in return. I don't want to go in and say, hi, you know. If I'm going in there, I'm gonna try to make a deal with them, you know, with a collab. But I can't do collabs right now because I'm a very small creator, okay? They can't really trust me right now. But he was ranting about someone getting into their DMs and just, they were having a bad day. Their life wasn't going well. I think it was something about like one of their family members is dying or whatever, or going through tough times, or like something tragic happened in their life. And they were asking for help. Why did you have to crash out on them, James? Now, it would have been fine if there was a person kind of like in my comment section one time, and it was in one of my videos, but someone took off the video because I don't know. I didn't get a copyright strike. They just took it off because, you know, it was one of those collab things that you did with your short. Yeah, but there was one person that was blaming me for either their father's or their grandfather's death. So I was having sympathy for them for a second, but then they were like, no, you're the worst, fuck you, right? I'm like, how is my video make your dad or grandfather die? How am I the person that did that? I'm just making content. So either you showed it to them when they were probably not supposed to be around colors and you ignored it anyway, or they were watching it without their doctor's approval. But James here did something different. Because this person was just asking for help. Now, I'm not saying that James had to do anything. But how about either say nothing and go on with your day and ignore it, or don't lash out at them? Oh no, James, and you didn't just lash out at them. You said one of my favorite things, and this is where humility comes in. This is where humility comes in, okay? Because you told them in your rant to go get a job and pay for it yourself. That is an interesting choice of words, Charles. Because the same thing that you just said could be easily implemented to you when people didn't want to follow you anymore because you did some shady stuff with kids. Alright? So you should be lucky that you have a following still. And not only that, you should be lucky that people didn't unfollow you because of your ungrateful ass. You have to understand, Charles. Being a content creator is one of the most privileged things you can do. You have your own schedule. You have your own content you can make. You can do it when you want, at least until your money gets low and your manager says, hey, you kind of need to make content because you need to eat this month, right? Right? I get that. But I've always wanted to be a content creator, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. It's because I have a dream, but at least I have passion, all right? And people are wondering, well, what do you have passion for? I like ranting, okay? Ranting channels were great back when I was growing up. And I do have to have a little bit of a filter, so I'm more loud than really edgy because YouTube standards. But, it's people like Charles that don't understand. When you're telling somebody to get a job and pay for it themselves, I'm not saying you have to pay for them, Charles, but look in the fucking mirror sometimes. When you're saying, I don't know why people don't like me anymore. I don't know why, people think I'm controversial now. Well, first, stop having conversations with kids that are very inappropriate. And second, kind of like with me, people can always decide that they can unsubscribe at any time. People at any time can say, well, I don't like this guy anymore. People at any time can be like, well, maybe I do like him, but I just don't want to watch his content anymore. I am privileged right now to at least have the 50 subscribers I have, or 51. 51. Because here's the thing, Charles. The reason why I'm grateful is because you know how hard it is to be a content creator? No, and I'm not talking about with the 9-to-5 thing. No, 9-to-5 is harder. There's people that have to deal with dipshits on a constant basis, okay? That and then there's just some jobs that are just back-breaking work. But what I mean by that, Charles, is that it's hard to get to the position that you are in. Now, if you're not gone by now, anybody that's watching, because you got mad that I said it's hard being a content creator, you didn't let me finish. It's hard to get to the position that James Charles is in. It's not hard to make content at all. It's not hard to make it, right? But it's hard to get into the position that he's in, where he has a big influence. He can make content at his own leisure. And James, you have a makeup business. Some people can't even afford a house in this day and age. Some people can't afford to live. All right, so even with your business, you at least have somewhat of a passive income. Unless if it goes to shit. Okay? So I need you to learn some humility for once and realize that your position is privileged. Your position, just like anybody else that says content creation is harder than a 9-to-5 job. Oh, it's so hard. I get so tired content streaming constantly. I would rather be content streaming than having a 9-to-5. But the reason why I have a 9-to-5 is because we got to make the money. And actually, the place that I'm at right now, I'm actually enjoying. So that's kind of why I've been like doing a mixture of doing things myself and then doing content whenever I have time, because I got to do other stuff too, right? So I'm sorry for the lack of posts. But people like James Charles pisses me off. You are in a privileged position. Stop acting like the followers that you get, the subscribers that you get, the views that you get, you are entitled to, because you are not. I am not entitled to my subscribers. I am not entitled to my views. How many views I get, I'm grateful for. How many fans I get, I'm grateful for, because I built up to this. They helped me by watching me. You gotta understand, Charles, that the fans that you lose, they are the backbone of your content. Without them watching you, without them subscribing to you, without them donating to you, you are just an average person. And this is what I don't get about streamers, is that they think that they're above and high and mightier than everybody else on this planet. And it pisses me off. I'm not saying you can't be a streamer. I'm not saying you can't be a streamer with an ego. I got a little bit of an ego sometimes, okay? Sometimes I do. I like trolling people online. Sometimes I'll write a comment randomly somewhere. Okay, it'll be random. And I just like having people guess, right? Sometimes I respond, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I say stupid shit just to get people wondering. Just to get people engaged. Yeah. Like sometimes I'm an idiot online, right? But I don't bash the people that are subscribed to me. Now I know this woman wasn't subscribed to you, but you could have easily done that to somebody that was subscribed to you, that was your fan. And you might dress it up in pretty words and say, why do I have to do anything for you? You don't follow me. You know how many people I like watching that I still don't follow? Do you know how many people probably watch me that still don't subscribe to me? I'm just happy that they're coming in. I'm just happy that they're acknowledging me. I'm just happy that they're having a good time. So the moral of this story, people, is be grateful for the views and the subscribers that you have. Because at any time, if you get greedy, and if people figure out that you're jealous of another content creator and you sabotage them because they have more views than you, or you get butthurt and you whine and complain because they have more viewers than you, or if you want them deplatformed because they have more viewers than you, get better at content creation. Get better at being entertaining. Be entertaining. That's how the algorithm works. I know I made a video a little bit ago. I'm going to keep it up because it's hilarious. But yeah, I was being a little feeble-minded about what I was complaining about. I forgot about all the algorithms and stuff, and I forgot about... So I apologize for that. But I'm keeping that video up, you know, just so if people want to laugh at it, or people will be like, bro, you talking about this, but like you had that video, just remember this video, okay? Remember that video and remember this video. I am a growing person, okay? I am a growing person. I'm growing, okay? I make mistakes. I fuck up sometimes, all right? But James, shut up. Okay? And I'm I'm done with this. It's annoying how people forget that they are privileged to be content creators. People don't have to watch you. And if people stop watching you, that's going to humble you really fast, because then you're not getting paid. Then you're not getting your sponsors. And then you'll really be sad. And then you'll really realize that content creation is hard when people don't give a rat's ass about you anymore. My name's Brian, the EO Sky Bigot, and I usually make wrestling content. But this really made me mad. It really did. Oh yeah, and James, you can't flag this video as copyright. I didn't put any of your content on here, so you're fine. And this isn't bullying. Just remember you're in a privileged spot. I'm not picking on you, but you're in a privileged spot. And also, if this video gets flagged for bullying, that will be irritating, because what you did to that fan was way more unnecessary than what I did here right now. That fan was going through a tough time, and all you had to do was say no. You didn't have to go on a big tangent. You just had to say no. People would have been fine if you said no. My name's Brian Cardinal. I am the EO Sky Bigot, and this was my rant for today. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you guys could get angry with me or angry against me. I don't care. But have a good one, guys. Hope you enjoyed the entertainment. Hope you enjoyed the rant. And I'm pretty sure people that are watching this video are probably angry about it too. So this was, kind of beneficial for people that want to watch too. Be grateful. That's all I'm saying. Because people, when I was growing up, we didn't care about rich and poor. We didn't care about black and white. We didn't care about male and female. Because guess what? When I was growing up, everybody was poor. White people were poor, black people were poor. Asian people were poor, Latino people were poor. Men and women were poor. That's it. Have a good one, guys. Thank you for watching.